Hello everybody and welcome to the stream which will hopefully stay up. This is Yvonne B and I am surrounded by the players of this game, Liberty Lost Freedom Gained. Let's do our quick introductions with Matt, aka Melodor219. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Melodor219, another streamer here on Ye Old Twitch, and I play Zayana, the Drow Bard.
Alright, above him we have Emily, aka Ember. Introduce yourself.
Worried you were gonna call me Matt for a second.
Brain is a lot right now.
Yeah. I'm Emily, also known as Ember. I am a content creator, but have been taking a break. But I play Sienna, the angry burb.
Next to her we have Howie, aka BlueGamePlus.
Hi, I'm Howie, aka BlueGamePlus, and I play the particularly prissy Blue Jay.
I would introduce the person who is next to him, but he is not here. That would be KrimzonKnight Gaming, but he is currently traveling. Send him well wishes. But below that we have Tim, aka Lincoln Yellow. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Tim, aka Lincoln Yellow.
All right.
Cool.
He plays a butler, the end.
I'm playing Taldian,
Who is also apparently a bad father.
who would also apparently be very proud of the very long lunch that Jamey is taking.
Oh. Wow.
Oh no.
Jamie's taking, or Jason's taking lessons.
He was like, oh, I need to learn to really savor the food, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so, quick recap of what happened last time. I think pretty much, actually, do you guys remember what happened?
We almost got eaten by an outhouse in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, we took a trip to the next place we were supposed to go. Almost got eaten by an outhouse. And yeah, we're actually starting on the quest we were supposed to start on quite a while ago.
And we slept outside, and everyone was freaking out, and Jason was like, I'm sure it doesn't mean anybody no harm, and then he almost got ate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we find out it would have been better if we killed it.
Yep.
When did that happen?
At the very end with the old lady.
Yeah, we said, hey, so there was this plant. We decided not to kill it, and then she was like, oh, yeah, that's not supposed to be as big and angry as it is. You should have killed it.
Well, she didn't say you should have killed it.
No, but she heavily implied
Basically
it.
what she said.
She said
It's more like, oh, that's been hurting. Like, that's what a
it's been
problem for
acting up.
people that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Yeah,
having a
and-
bit of a time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh goody. We
Yeah, we-
probably should have killed it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Y'all
Exactly.
and your
It
murder
has no
happy.
sense of intelligence. It's not thinking. It's literally just.
It's
plant.
murder happy. It's a plant with like little human hands. No!
Hey,
Kill
no,
it with
Otero.
fire!
I think y'all are being very mean to this plant that's just trying to exist.
It's not trying to do anything.
It's just like,
It's
and then
just
the plant
existing.
grew legs and came and killed you all. The end.
I think y'all are getting very riled up over a plant.
And
Look,
then
if a
as you
plant
settle-
tries to bite you, you prune it.
Exactly.
I did
And then
actually
as Zayana
cut-
is laying down to sleep, she hears a knock at the window, and there's vines everywhere with little human
we're
hands all
getting-
over the...
We're getting uppity because we're being told we shouldn't have done a little bit of gardening, right?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, y'all are getting very stressed over a plant.
tried to eat Jason. And now look where he is. lunch.
Jason, if you're watching this,
If you're watching this, chug.
that's it. Just if you're watching this, man.
Wild.
Beware of the plants.
Beware the plants.
That's gonna be tonight's episode. Beware the plants.
Never trust a plant with leaves and branches that look like human hands. That's all
Either
I'm
that
saying.
or you can name it Don't Feed the Plant. Ever
Yeah, just
seems more daunting.
Exactly.
Well, let us actually get to it. Yes, you slept the night outside. You had an encounter with a plant that was just, doing its plant things.
Yeah.
Eating people,
Look, we eat plants for less, okay?
And once
For
you
less
got
what?
For less. Like, they don't even have to look at us funny for us to
okay.
eat them. That like we eat plants for less.
Exactly.
But once you got to the settlement by the edge of the Heathermarsh, you met an older woman named Olivia, who, once you talked to, said, "Oh yeah, that plant, it's been doing that lately. It makes a nice wine. Would you like to come in?" And invites you into the tavern called the Cauldron.
The Cauldron.
Yes.
Okay, I need a little bit of a vibe check here, right?
Yeah.
Just for Meru's sake.
Okay.
Is it dirty?
Exactly. Because when I think of swamp people, I don't think particularly hygienic. You know?
Investigation,
So-
please.
Okay, yeah, sure. Where the hell are my dice?
That's a darn good question. I need to get my
I found
own.
my dice. All right. Investigation. And where the hell is my character sheet?
Yeah. Do you have
Look,
D&D
I've
Beyond up?
got like 15 different things pulled up, okay?
How do
Helps,
you think I
Meru.
feel?
Sienna can help you investigate.
I understand. All right.
I can help.
Someone
Okay,
will assist Meru to look for dirt.
Let's say that we're both looking around, not necessarily for dirt, but like kind of just
See,
scoping out the
Dirt's
vibe of the
pointing
place.
out spots of dirt.
That
Oh,
is
hey, look.
a
Well, like-
18.
I'm.
Yep, right there, Meru.
That's an 8.
Meru, it looks, maybe just a little bit dusty, swampy. It generally seems like it's fine.
So like
Is
the
that-
tables look clean, the people's outfits don't look like they're covered in mud.
They're not like they came from the swamp B-movie type thing.
Okay.
Ziana, though, looking around, it's a humble establishment, and people are working people. They work hard, and they have brought a bit of the outside in. There's a few tracks of dirt or mud, muck. There's a few smears here and there, but generally you can tell that the owners of this establishment try to keep the place clean. It looks like each table is wiped down after every use.
Okay. That's a big thing I want to say.
Zion will just say, "See, Meru, there's nothing to worry about."
Plant sits down at the
We're
bottom.
in the swamp. Under
isn't
his
a
breath,
swamp.
and as soon as anybody even thinks that they're looking at him, he's just like, I didn't say nothing. like briefest of exchanges so as to not rouse suspicion.
Bruh.
He's polite, but he's prissy.
Well, so you enter into the cauldron, and this short, old Olivia shuffles in, lifting her skirts as she goes in, and then goes behind the bar counter. So, wanted that wine, or did you want something else?
Is the kitchen still open?
Oh, yes. We just opened not long ago. It's morning.
Are these?
It's morning. This
Good to
is
know. Good to
bar.
remember.
What do you think the chances are that Jason is making the food right now already?
No, I think he's interviewing every plant to see if they feel attacked.
He's going around town interviewing every plant while we're sitting here.
Mhm.
Sienna's gonna sit down and order some food and a drink.
Mhm.
Yeah, same.
Just some food. It's a little bit early for drinking, don't you think?
Never.
Well, no, we need to try that
Sienna
wine.
looks at Meru and is like, after the night I think we've had, I don't think it's a little early for me to have a drink. No.
I think that we need to, at the very least, for justice, drink some of that wine.
For justice. For justice.
And we want to be very nice to our lovely host over here for the tavern. So, let's sit down, have a drink, have some food, have a chat, not get eaten by plants tonight.
So
What's Ziana will pour over the menu and anything that includes lots of maple syrup she will eat.
maple syrup?
Do you have maple syrup?
No, we have syrup from the marsh over here.
I'll
Maybe...
try it then.
All right. So, she brings out eventually. Well, first she brings out the wine and pours you in particular, Ziana, a big old cup of it. Pours out a cup for Teldian, and then leaves the bottle there. Just says, if you want. And she goes in the back and eventually brings out a big stack of flapjacks. Distributes it to Ziana and Sienna and Meru. And Teldian, she says, I don't remember if you said you wanted food?
Yes, I did.
She puts out some flapjacks for you. And then she pulls out a big bottle of what looks like some kind of syrup. It's lighter than the maple syrup you're used to seeing. And she pours it over every single plate there.
Much appreciated.
Did you want eggs with that or something else? We got some sausage.
Oh, eggs,
Take
please.
sausage.
Okay.
I'd be down for some eggs.
So she goes out back, brings out eggs and sausage pretty quickly, just leaves it on like its 2 serving plates, figuring that y'all will take it as you need.
Are you sure you don't want eggs?
No eggs, thank you.
All right.
Sienna's chopping the
no,
sausage.
like-
You want some sausage?
Like, it's all right. You guys go ahead and eat some, but I will refrain.
As long as I didn't make you think, oh, they're eating my kids or something. Sorry.
Let's say distant cousins.
Sorry.
Do you have any granola or oats or seeds of any sorts for our friends?
Do you think I'm a common wren?
Yes.
Yes?
The pancakes look delicious. The sausage will be just fine. I just don't like to eat eggs. The same way you don't like eating monkey meat.
I mean,
Are you trying to imply that you eat monkey meat?
I would be okay with monkey meat.
Oh my god. I'm gonna switch the music real
But
quick.
you would not.
I was on an expedition once with my father, and I recall having monkey meat.
Do people evolve from monkeys in this world? This is not something I ever considered.
Things that you never thought you'd have to question about the creation of your world.
Yeah.
Would
Do
it
they
be a
evolve from
form of
monkeys?
cannibalism?
Yvonne, do we have creation myths?
I mean,
Or did the gods? Okay, do the gods come from men, or do the men come from gods?
gods come from men.
Okay, so in other words, we had to come from somewhere. So I imagine, probably.
Is there a monkey god, and can we apologize to him?
There is probably a god out there who is at least monkey or monkey-ish. Not that
The
you
god
know
of
though.
mischief.
We can't.
Now, did these birds come from dinosaurs, though? The bird people.
That is a good question. We'll have to flesh out our creation.
We go back far enough on Meru and Sienna's family tree. Do we see a T-Rex?
I don't think they would have evolved from T-Rexes.
I think that's more chickens, but
Depending on your lore, I think depending on the setting, the bird people come from another plane. In some universes, in others, they're like the spin-off results of magic experiments to hybridize. And like,
From what I can't believe we're still talking about it. Y'all are not from another
Doubt
plane.
our skills.
And also, y'all are not the result of experiments. Y'all are a natural part of this world, just like every other person here. But
cool. So do we have bird monkeys?
we'll talk about that later.
Hybrids.
Monkey bird hybrids. Oh god.
Oh no.
So good.
Isn't that already like a bat, technically?
West has arrived with her group of monkey bats. And
You know, like,
See?
one day y'all are gonna meet the Wicked Witch of the West and just her crew. Anyhow.
it's a lady owl.
Lady L is the Wicked Witch of the West. No.
So what you're saying, we just have to drop a house on her.
I'll get you, my pretty. And you're a pretty little bird, too.
I hate this. Okay, cool. So,
Anyway, do you think I'm a common red?
What is a red?
A long sip of her drink while staring at Meru.
It's a bird.
Prolonged eye contact as she.
No,
If it's a bird, then yes, I think you're a bird. Maybe a little fancy for a bird, but preppy. So, I mean, maybe not common in that way, but that doesn't mean you can't eat seeds. I don't know.
The sap is a little bit more. It's a bit runny.
Let me get a few of more of these pancakes here. Just ignoring the racist one over there.
So as you dig into the food, note about the syrup that you have. It is runnier than maple syrup or, super sugar syrup. But it is sweet with a bit of a smoky kick. And that kind of smoky kick flavor seems to lend itself to all of the food, especially the sausages. And
How does the wine do?
the wine is spiced. It is not smoky, but it does have a warmth as it goes down.
Why is it warm? Revenge is best served cold.
Not.
No. So wine can be served hot or cold. Spiced wine in particular can be mulled into a cider.
Mm-hmm.
But normally alcohol gives you a warm feeling as it runs through.
Well, yes, but it's like added to the, normal alcohol. Like it's pretty much, it's like spice. Like think of sangria, but a little more down home.
For those of us who don't drink.
Cinnamon, nutmeg, and like more like earthy southern type vibe.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Very, very strong.
Okay. Yeah, no. Meru is very much in it's too early to drink camp.
Can you make it sound like tea, which sounds great for breakfast? So I don't know.
Alcohol.
I don't know why we need justice.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything to us.
Ziada will abstain from alcoholic beverages because even wine and syrup do not mix.
Suit yourself. So as she brings out the food and everybody's all situated, she starts cleaning up like the counter a little bit and says, "So, what took y'all so long?"
Oh, where to start?
Did we take? Oh yeah, there was that. Sorry, that was Howie, not Meru.
We had
We
3
took a
stops on the
while.
way.
There was an incident with a forest, and there was a barn fire, and then there was more incidents with the forest.
We haven't had the most smooth or direct of trips.
Mm.
To that end, our apologies. But even if we could do it again, we would have done what we needed to do and stayed behind again. It was important. All the same, we're here. We are at your disposal. How can we help?
Well, I wasn't told too much about what you'll need to be doing, but you do have a place to stay here. It is up the stairs, unless you want to sleep outside again. I'd say
Nah.
watch out.
I think I'm good.
I very much look forward to a nice bed.
Not having
Nice
to watch our backs.
is relative. You look kind of like a fancy girl.
So long as it's not outside with murderous plants, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yes.
She slept as rough as the rest of us the last couple of nights.
All right. Well, we do have beds. Some of y'all may need to share a room. Apologies, but we don't expect a lot of visitors out here.
We'll be
And
fine.
what did your employers tell you? I've mostly had contact with Worthington, but I am aware that not all of you work for him directly.
Yeah. We're just kind of here to look at the supply shortages.
Ah,
We don't really know what else.
that's it.
That's it.
We're looking for the root cause, and we're instructed to report back, not to solve the problem. So,
So
any
they,
information you have would be helpful.
so they didn't even tell you about the plants.
No.
No. Negative.
I wonder if he knew.
We thought it might be your friend, but
I wonder if he knew or if he.
he does trust it.
Well,
If you're talking about Lord Worthing.
yeah, Worthington. Yes, I'm sure that if he had any information, he would tell you. I'm just wondering what's getting up to him. It's been.
I'm sure there's been a lot of it.
It's been a complicated last, let's say, 5 months, something like that.
Hmm.
What can you tell us in that regard?
I'm not sure.
Any history that might be relevant to the situation.
I'm not sure what will be relevant and what would just be, oh, it's a weird swamp going on. Because this has never been a run-of-the-mill kind of place.
I mean, at this point, you could probably just tell us everything, and we can sort out information from there.
Oh, so you're ready for the long haul.
Yep.
Where's your...
We've got all day.
She looks around real quick at the four of you and says, will you be able to tell your friend all of this? It's
Yeah, he's probably just interviewing all the plants to make sure they're not murder hobos.
At this rate, it might be for the best.
Probably.
So
Just
she...
don't let him in your kitchen.
Why?
He'll
He'll
stay.
take over.
He'll take over in the kitchen.
Like a cook or...
Yeah.
Yes.
He thinks it's polite.
I don't know. We are short of hands here sometimes.
If you want the extra help and you want it for free, feel free to mention it to him.
Always for
We
free.
won't be
let's
seeing
go.
him for the next of the week.
All you have to do is hint, really.
Mhm.
All you have to do is open the doors, really. He'll just find his way to the kitchen.
I'm surprised he's not there yet.
Well,
That's when you just hear distant, oh, I'm in here! I'm fixing the pancakes! The whole recipe is wrong!
You just
they're
hear,
way too
"No."
meaty.
No, y'all ain't doing it right. Let me show you how my mama cooks it.
Why is the grain so thick? Anyhow, so she goes in
There isn't
like
enough butter.
she goes to one of like the corner of the bar, pulls up a tall stool, and climbs herself up on it. We have a lot to talk about. So, let's see. Everything that's been happening. I'll try to keep it to the last 6, maybe 8 months, cause you know things never stay the same around here, and yet they always stay the same. It's weird.
That sounds weird.
So of course we have our merchants that come and get things, usually from local people who are gatherers or artisans making stuff like the wine you just sampled, and of course they'll get their things and leave. We're used to seeing people come in for short stays. I guess people don't want to stay here for some reason. But some months ago, we actually had a couple of what looked like stuffy, high-nosed kind of individuals. They came in and they said, oh, we have to set up a place in the Heathermarsh by order of the royal court. And whenever we asked what for, they wouldn't tell us. They said that it was not their place to say. So they pretty much stayed a night here and then went deep into the marsh. And then a couple of days later came several carts with horses, each led by one person. And they all went into the marsh and didn't come out. We haven't seen them since. But ever since then, the plants began to change, if that makes sense. The growth that you experienced yesterday, that you say almost ate you, usually only goes for small critters and sometimes the occasional big insect. But they've grown. This has happened to a couple of other plants around the marsh, and it's affected other things too. The water is not the same. It seems to have some sort of, let's say, unnatural taste to it. A lot of people don't trust it anymore. And this has been happening with a lot of things that people depended on to have their business, you know. Honestly, the winemakers are lucky because they have a bigger yield now, but not everybody can say the same. Like the people who make the cat calming poultices, like we have a moss here that cats really like. It turned a strange color, and now they're not comfortable with using it, and so their businesses has dropped. A lot of other things have dropped as well.
Did it turn blue?
Is
Did
it
turn
blue?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw some of that on our way here.
Do y'all have a cat?
My dad.
His daughter does.
Oh, how old is your daughter?
She's about 50.
Oh, I don't know why, but for some reason I expected younger. Anywho, a lot of things started becoming very questionable with the way that the marsh is, and a lot of people's dependencies on these things to make a living, to provide for their families, became strained. And that's actually when a couple of let's just say she pauses and she thinks for a moment. They're really not bad people, you know. Just
Thieves? Thieves?
No. Not thieves. There's no real other place to steal from around here. They got angry. They said the crown doesn't care about us. They don't care whether we live or die. We can't even find out what's happening to our own land. And honestly, they have a point. But if he speaks like that, that usually ends up becoming treasonous. So not many people wanted to go much farther than that. But a couple of young men and some older men have decided that they were going to try and oppose whatever was happening in the marsh. From there, we haven't seen much of them. We know they're around, but whatever they're up to, I'm worried that it's not gonna do them any good. And that was about 2 to 3 months ago. From there, things have started becoming more and more scarce. Even the things that looked like it was more plentiful, like the grapes for the wine. And I'm not sure if it's because of the court's people in the marsh or the young men opposing them.
How long ago did these individuals leave to begin that opposition?
2 to 3 months ago, about. It was definitely about 2 months after the ones sent from the court, as they say, were sent and set up their things.
So, did they go to oppose what the people from the court set up, or
That's
did
what they
go
said. However,
Are they-
hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
Wait, could you say that again? I didn't hear it.
Sorry, go ahead.
So, that's what they said they'd do. They didn't go off to the capital or anything. We still see them around here and there, but they've been scarce.
So, do you have any idea where the court set up whatever they set up?
All I know is that it's deep in there. Oftentimes, people tend to stay towards the edges because even in a normal swamp, there are dangerous things. They went farther than most of us dare to go. So they may be at the coast. They may be deep in a part of the marsh where it's not easy to traverse. I don't know.
Is there anybody who would know more, or
Mhm.
might have built up to a more precise direction?
She sits and thinks for a moment and says, there's an older man here. We call him Trev. And he goes into the marsh, try to stalk around, see what's been going on. If anyone would know, it would probably be him.
Where can we find him?
Well, he usually comes here in the evenings for a drink, but otherwise, you'd probably just have a better time going into the marsh yourself and finding him.
Have you seen anything strange coming out of the marsh?
Coming
Out of the ordinary?
When you say strange, you mean like a creature?
Anything out of the ordinary.
Hmm.
More activity than normal, strange animals, murderous plants.
Well, there have been tales of murderous plants.
Strange merchants with unorthodox wares.
Coming out of the swamp?
Exactly. Anything.
No.
Anything.
We
Anything that comes out of the swamp.
we have seen a couple of strange merchants and such go into the swamp. We always assumed they were with the people from the crown. But they were carrying things that did not seem normal and we were not allowed to ask about.
You weren't allowed to ask about?
No?
Who was stopping you from asking?
Well, if we asked, they said we couldn't know.
Do you know what the strange objects were? Did they have like a strange glow or have any features that were distinguishable?
Was it
Most
all
of-
like in covered wagons or?
Most of them were covered in some way. They didn't look like they were boxes or anything. They stuck out of the cloth in jagged ways, you know? But some of them had a strange smell. Like the smell of blood, you know?
Well, that
Mm.
can't be
That's-
good.
And you didn't think to push any further on this.
We tried. Don't you think don't you think the boys that are so angry right now, they wouldn't have said something? They did.
How often do they come through?
They only came through like twice. They came through, and then when they left, their cart was empty.
I thought you said that they didn't leave.
Ugh. Just the few other people that came in. The others didn't leave.
The initial people didn't leave, but the strange people who came to see them did.
Yes.
Okay. Mm.
Sorry, I had written down the supply carts didn't leave.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did they stop in here for any length of time? Like, long enough to resupply on their way through? Or was it more like, passing through, just this town's on the road type of thing?
The first people that came, they stopped in for some food and some information. We thought they were just, maybe surveying the place, so we told them about how the marsh lays out, what part that people stop going into, any plants that they should be looking out for, etc., etc. But
You said-
after... Hmm?
Sorry, you said the part that some people stopped going into, right?
Like, as I said earlier, there is a portion of the marsh that people don't tread into normally because there are stories of danger, stories of plants being more aggressive or strange creatures living there. I guess that doesn't matter now that we have man-eating plants right outside the town. But people usually don't venture farther than that.
I have
Hmm?
2 more questions, if that's alright.
Sure.
Both somewhat related. What supplies was this town sending up to? Sorry, currently Howie is blanking on the name of the main city here.
Oreo?
Oriel. And what is being sent there now from the marsh?
Well, we've sent so many things. Like, as we say, merchants come and go from here. They usually end up they'll end up getting exotic spices. She says the exotic, like, wah, wah, wah. Like exotic spices or rare ingredients. Sometimes people find out how to make something that makes bread easier to make, or certain desserts. So people will come and get the desserts or the ingredients. It was thriving. We would have a lot of people come through. But as of recently, things have dwindled down a lot. Our main export now, other than the wine and some daring people, the cat poultice. Other than that, it seems to be pretty much scant amounts of base materials. I guess some of them are trying to see if they could replicate it somewhere else. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Could you elaborate on that last bit?
They probably think that the Heathermarsh is run through its usefulness.
Has the exports been slacking recently, aside from, or I should say, prior to the folks from the city
No,
setting up down here?
no, nothing changed until they came over.
I can assure you there's still a lot of demand. I've seen it. People would be happy to have them back in the state.
I guess
And the
that's...
wine production here has been increasing, right?
Yes.
Has there been a recent dip in the shipment of wine north?
No.
Why are we here?
I mean, the wine's fine. Everything else is not.
They know that, though.
They
Or
do.
at the very least, they could easily have asked you. They sent in word that we were coming because we were sent here to find out why these supplies were drying up.
So you figured it out?
It's because the folks in... You just told me everything's been getting harder to acquire on account of the fact that the folks in the woods are causing problems. And
Yeah, but
or at the very least, that the swamp has been getting more dangerous ever since those guys started setting things up in the forest.
but I don't believe that that's by royal consent. I don't believe anyone was ordered to.
And
Well,
I wouldn't
there's
be
only one way to find out, y'all.
I wouldn't be surprised. The major, the main effect, aside from the decrease in other supplies, has been an increase in the production of wine, which is it's a product that goes to the higher circles.
so
Well,
you
either
think
way,
all
I don't
this-
think there's going to be any more answers to be found here.
Well, I don't think there's answer like
They
supplies.
probably didn't know about the people to begin with because it wasn't by royal consent. But also, we should probably check with Trev to see if he knows any more about what has been happening inside the swamp.
Do you guys want to wait around for him to come, or you guys want to go and maybe pick up some information while looking?
We might as well explore the town and everything while we're here.
Can I? I would suggest asking some of the kids around here if they saw the shipments come in the first time, or the first couple of times, and
Yeah.
because kids will get their noses in anything. They're better at it than anybody else.
And they're brutally honest.
So, Olivia nods her head, reminds you that you do have the rooms upstairs. Asks if you want any more food or drink. Something that's not wine, she says, looking specifically at Meru.
How much do we have to worry about clean water here?
we've been working on making it better. We started by like running it through a mix of gravel and some charcoal, and it seems to be doing better, but it's still not the best.
Unfortunately, I don't think prestidigitation does anything aside from the taste.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're really desperate.
If I'm really desperate, I would head back north and find a druid I know of to come down here and cast purify water. Like, actually, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
If we could send for Jason's mother.
Well,
Do you think she could do that for the whole swamp?
I don't think that she'd be willing to leave the farm in the current state.
Given
When she's
everything
ready
that's-
to, dang it.
Well, at the very least, let's see if we can't find this this gentleman who might know a bit more of the lay of the land, and see if maybe he's found something.
Worth a shot.
Are we going to start with that, or were you guys going to start with us?
Well, let's ask around the town and then we can go into the marsh.
Worst case scenario, we return in the evening when Trev is known to return to come to the bar for a drink,
Yeah.
and we talk to him and then close up for the night.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea.
All right.
okay.
Thank you for helping.
Oh,
Would you
Of
happen to have
course.
any? Actually, would you happen to have any spare paper I might be able to use?
paper.
Paper.
She goes into some drawers and she pulls out some more parchment-esque kind of paper.
That's fine. Meru just, upon receiving it, begins to scroll out some a quick note letter, and after folding it up, basically hands it to her with the idea of, "Hey, this is what we've gathered so far. If you could arrange for this to be sent back up north to Lord Worthington, in the event that we don't come out of the forest."
All right, but be careful.
Would it be safer to send one of those magic?
That might be a little bit. It would
It
that
would
might
be a great idea, but I think it's a little premature. We haven't even entered the marsh yet.
Yeah.
Let's wait until we have something more substantial.
Because if we find out what's happening in the marsh, we might want to send that as a last.
Because I mean, if even this amount of information is gone,
If it's my idea here is that if this takes longer than a couple of days, we can add to that letter.
Exactly.
it's a good
And
idea.
then send the most complete version of the notes forward as we can. Worst case scenario, we can send something from the middle of the woods using the magic paper. Anyway, yeah, let's get moving then. You guys go ahead and ask around town. I'll talk to the kids.
All right, let's be on our way then.
Oh, go ahead.
You exit out of the cauldron. Things are a bit more lively now. Kids are still running around. You see a couple of people walking back and forth, dragging their wares with them, whether through cart or just in a sack on their backs. looks like they are pretty much out there to trade and get stuff.
What's the general mood of the place?
Like just a vibe check.
Yeah, basically just a vibe check. Trying to figure, like, do these people seem like everything's been going downhill recently? Are they resigned to it? Are they grumbly?
Give me a general perception roll.
All right. If I could, perception.
Yes.
All right.
Or did you want to like listen in on folks, investigate?
Are they like looking down and walking slow versus are they like moving around with any sense of general?
Yeah, this is more of like a posture reading, etc. I would consider that more insight personally.
I would consider it
both are the
insight if
same.
it was more like one-on-one.
Yeah. This is more of like a general group vibe check. Sienna's gonna investigate around and kind of poke and prod at people.
Mm-hmm.
Get a general vibe check as well as see what's been going around town and whatnot.
Mm.
I'm gonna do the same.
Diana will do the same thing.
All right. So, give me a quick moment. I just need to get my dice because I'm a bad DM. Be right back.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, what up?
Hey yo. So I got 19 plus 2, so 21 total for investigation.
Okay.
I got a 12 total.
Could I have mine be more of a persuasion thing as I'm going around asking people, trying to find out what they know?
Sure.
I got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20. Teldian, what were
Hey.
you aiming to do again?
Just same thing as they were all kind of getting a
All right.
general vibe. Maybe.
Would I get advantage if I specifically targeted the kids with this?
Give me your reason.
Kids are a lot more open and honest and easy to read.
Do you have experience with kids?
Considering the whole thing with his mom, like telling stories and whatnot, being
In hometown.
that's her deal. Yeah, back in the hometown. It's just being a bit of a minor and local entertainer and helping out with that sort of thing.
All right.
Especially over the last week during his vacation per se.
All right. I'll give you advantage on this.
All right. Well, it didn't change anything.
Oh no.
And
all
my
right.
persuasion DM was a dirty 20.
All right.
I don't have any modifier.
Okay.
My end numbers also.
Maru, what was your roll?
12 total.
12. All right. So, Maru, when looking around, you do see that people are like kind of, let's say, drudging about. You can't exactly say, oh, they're definitely downtrodden because of whatever, but they do kind of look like the joy is mostly gone. As you go up to some kids, they look at you and they're like, you're a bird person. Oh my, can I look at your wings? And they start like poking at you.
Absolutely. And, big, doing the whole spread them wide, twirl, flourish.
I told you they were real.
Basically.
I believe that. I believe that. Do you lay eggs?
So you got a bunch of kids poking at you and like marveling at pretty much how you look and everything. And when you pose the question, they're like, Our parents said not to say anything. But one of them says, those guys are weird. There's stuff that they bring in is smelly. And I don't like the way that they look at us. I think they're doing something bad.
Do you know anybody, any of the other kids maybe, who may have sneaked a look?
Do you want to get them in trouble?
Oh, no. Lips are sealed.
You gotta
I don't have
promise.
lips.
This kid looks very serious. You gotta promise.
I promise. Persuasion check?
Feather square.
Feather square. Yes, I will pluck out 2 feathers.
They take one of the feathers, and after twirling it about, they say,
Magic promise.
my little brother and I, we went under one of the cloths on the cart when they weren't looking. I think Trev was talking to them, so we snuck in, and it felt cold, maybe some sort of metal, but not metal that we've seen before. It was shiny and it was greased with something. I still don't know. But we couldn't stay much longer because the guys were coming back, so we had to jump out and run. But don't tell anybody.
Oh, you won't. Nobody will hear about that from me.
They look at you and they kind of like pout almost distrustingly, but you could tell that they're pretty nervous.
Won't hear anything from me.
They take your feather, stick it in their hair, and they go back with the rest of their friends.
It's okay. I've got plenty. Magically conjures a feather.
Oh gosh.
Magically conjures another feather. Makes them both disappear.
The other kids are freaking out. They're like, ah!
Like good or bad at?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be spending the rest of my time just trying to entertain these kids for a little while.
Okay. Let's go to Ziana. So you go about asking the people walking back and forth what things have been like over the past 6 months. Some of them are tight-lipped. They look at you, they are concerned about what this information is for. But some of them do tell you that things have been strange. Some tell you that pretty much the information that Olivia already told you. Some of them mention that it seems like a lot of the plants, after the water started changing, tasting weird, that's when they started becoming affected. The water changed and then the plants changed. Some of them mentioned that after the people showed up, people started feeling more sick. They started coughing. They started having more shortness of breath. And they couldn't figure out why, and the normal cures haven't worked. You can sense a bit of a small bit of desperation behind some of their words, but most of it is like, this is our new reality and we have to live with it.
Hmm.
Sienna,
Hmm.
you can very much see this spirit of defeat, this spirit of having to, keep your head low and keep going, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you talk to people, a couple of them mentioned the young men that Olivia was talking about. They say, I don't know what those boys think they're gonna do. Because you can't go against the crown like that. They have too much money, too much power. But I heard they're trying. And they've set up near them in the swamp. I don't know. The rest of the information you get is mostly what was said to Ziana.
Okay. But Hannah, you're gonna have to share your notes with me on that one.
Me?
No, Ziana. I mean, everyone can share their notes with me on that, but I just need some specifics on stuff for Sienna.
And Nat 20 Teldian.
Oh boy. He finds the name, age, and occupation of the league bad guy.
And what is this social security number?
Oh my gosh.
And why does it match Maru's?
I am the big bad of the entire campaign. You guys just don't know it yet.
Oh my goodness. So you going through all of these people, you can feel like the quiet desperation, but mostly the blinders that people have on to whatever may happen in the future, or whatever badness is happening around them. They're just like, you have to keep going, you have to keep going. One of them, as you talk to them, they bring up the group of people that have wanted to oppose the crown. They say, I don't know what Xander thinks that he's doing, but he's going to lead all those young men to their deaths. Heard even a couple of the daughters are joining too. It's
A
terrible.
couple of the daughters? Oh, like,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I thought you might have been referring to specific people called the daughter.
No,
Like,
just the young women, the daughters, etc.
I do want to try to give like reassurance. So we'll get better. So
I think you're quieting out your gate there, Tim.
oh,
You're dropping it out.
I'll say I want to, like, while talking with these people, I want to give reassurances that this will get better. This will get taken.
Maybe. I hope so.
Now, am I incorrect in that we just got a name drop there?
Yeah, Xander.
Xander.
Yeah.
And they're the leader of the group?
When you, from the
Or is
way
that the
they're
other
talking about Xander, they at least seem to be the face of the group, if that makes sense. They are the most outspoken, the most raring to go.
Gotcha.
As you keep talking to them, you also hear of a person named Samari.
Samari. Any details about Samari?
More of the right-hand man of Xander. Maybe it might be reversed. because Xander is the one that is very spirited and talking out. Samari seems to be the planner.
You spell Samari?
Samari.
Okay.
And in total, that's the information you get.
Alright, thanks.
A couple of hours have passed since y'all started interviewing people. So instead of being early in the morning, it's now coming down to about noon, 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might
If I
still be
find
worth
everyone
hanging out with
else, I'm gonna share my notes. So just
So do y'all gather outside in front of, like, where y'all first saw Olivia or something?
Sure.
Sure. Just,
Wherever we end up, wherever we end up sort of reconvening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we know that Trev is going to be making his way to the inn eventually. So I was thinking I'd probably try to meet everybody up around there.
All right. So in front of the cauldron, y'all come together and compare notes.
So why is a cold, shiny metal thing smelling like blood?
Well, these kids said that particular item was smelling bad. I don't think they mentioned blood. But then
No.
kids, they might not know the smell.
But the I forget, Olivia.
Yeah.
She said that that it smelled like blood, and they said it smelled bad. So it's likely the same smell.
That's definitely the biggest concern of mine, the blood. It there's it certainly sounds like the very maybe some foul magic or something, or some I don't know, alchemy experiments, or something's going on out there that they're trying to ruin these people for whatever reason. Is it
Perhaps it was a
more
medical
of like a business thing, or is it because there's something out there in the swamp that they're hoping to get?
We did hear the rumor about there being experiments going on, although that may have just been a guess based off of what we're already finding out.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Some
would
people
make
think it
sense
might
with how soon things started changing after they entered the marsh. If experiments were running wild. Or if just the marsh was upset.
Do marshes get upset?
Magical marshes.
Is
The
just a magical
forest by
marsh?
Jason's is magical.
Why
That
can't
doesn't mean the
be
marsh
magical?
isn't.
I shouldn't be questioning this at this point.
You saw what happened in that dang forest.
I did. I saw some
It's
things that
obvious
happened
by
in that
now.
dang forest. I think you may have seen more than I did. I think our best bet is to go out into the forest and see what we can find out.
Find Trev and maybe have him as a guide.
If he's willing.
So going into the forest?
Should we do that today, or should we wait and find Trev and then go out into the forest? Maybe tomorrow.
I mean, we can wait and find Trev. See about getting an official guide and maybe just some information off of him to start. Might be a good way to get us involved in everything.
I would ask, what was her name? The lady who runs the
Olivia?
cauldron?
Olivia.
Olivia?
I would ask Olivia if she were around. Basically, how much goodwill we have, how much time do you is she will? How long is she willing to put us up
Mm-hmm.
to resolve the issue before we are unwelcome? Without being so blunt about it, like, so how long are you willing to put up with us? You know?
How long can we just laze around before getting to work?
Yeah, no.
I
I
don't
don't wanna
think
give
we're
off the
that
impression-
bad, are we? Are we?
No. Rather more something along the lines of how long are you expecting to or let's say how long can we expect to stay here before payment becomes more of an issue?
Mm.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, are we really planning on like only heading out for like, the daytime and then coming back here every night? That doesn't make much sense.
Depends on how deep into the forest things are set up. Because I don't know. This place is like 3 days journey from the capital. So I don't know what really qualifies as deep in the jungle or deep in the swamp, rather.
Mm.
Hmm.
Um,
Plus,
I
we
just
don't want to go
know
too deep without knowing enough.
exactly. We want to
There's
be out before nightfall, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Who knows what sort of nasty things are even deeper in there?
precisely.
These man-eating man-hand plants might be the least of our worries.
Manhand plants. I'm sorry.
I'm not expecting to see Seymour out there. I think our best bet would be to touch base with first Trev, then see if we can touch base with this Xander or Samari, and see what information we can gather from them.
Mm.
If we can fix this problem without too much issue, then we should try. Whatever's going on, like as long as this isn't properly sanctioned by the, what do they call it? The court, the royal court.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, we should definitely send at the very least, send back information.
Hmm.
If it is sanctioned, we might just be able to walk in and say, "Hey, you guys are screwing up supply transport up to the up to Orlin, was it? Orion?
Oriel?
Oriel? Yeah, up to Oriel, and it's causing some problems for the higher ups. We've been here sent here to identify and potentially resolve the issue." I seem to recall asking if there was some way to identify ourselves.
I don't remember
As
that.
does anybody else remember that?
Doesn't sound familiar.
I'd have to look at my notes, but I'd have to actually scavenge them. That might be something I do over the break.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I asked about that, and I have written in my notes. We have authority to act as agents of the lords, but we are directed to prioritize our own safety, not expected to resolve the issue. The assignment is information gathering. That's all I have. That being said, being given authority to act as agents of the government is no small thing, especially if we can literally just throw our weight around a little bit and fix everything. Not literally throw our weight around, but you know what I mean.
Mm.
How would you literally? That's not the point.
Ask Choji.
Meru in a few levels. Let me show you as he casts Enlarge Object.
I wish I had that one.
Oh, angry burb.
What you do is you get somebody to wait around and then you throw them while they're waiting.
Wow.
Wow, Tim.
Terrible.
I see what I saw, and I saw through the hole, or through the wall rather. Saw a hole. I mean, that dumb thing. Anyways.
Anyhow.
So I guess for now, we kill time.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say that you explore the little settlement. It is a settlement that is a bit run down, but mostly small. You can tell it's there mainly for immediate function. Sorry. Whew. There for immediate function. So the structures aren't incredibly sturdy, mostly made of wood that could be gathered, some of it cut down, but not very refined. You're not really seeing any means of like education here. It just seems like, the market, the places to stay, some places for food, and that's it.
2 days from the capital, and there's no education.
It's rough out here.
What the hell good is a capital?
Is there education in the capital?
I would hope so.
There's education in the capital. There are
Mary
lots
learned
of
to read and write somewhere.
yeah. There are lots of schools, a
For
plethora of
everybody, or-
libraries.
For everybody, or just for nobles?
Not just for nobles, but it can be hard to get the money to pay for a proper education.
So no public.
Yes,
school.
yes, Yvonne. Tell us all about the socio-political status of the capital of your world.
It is all your fault, Jafar.
If only you could fix the socioeconomic inequality.
One of us, we need to run for office. We need to fix this place up.
I was just thinking, like, if the, I would only be surprised with there not being any education here if either there were a lot of rich people here, or if just anyone at the capital was getting an education.
It's 2 days from the capital. I imagine that most of the kids here could easily be put on a cart and sent up to an aunt's place in the capital, even if it's in a slum, and they can get a better education than they can out here.
That is plausible.
What is the general, like, how wealthy do people seem around?
The merchant's equivalent of paycheck to paycheck.
Okay.
Trip to trip.
Basically.
So this is basically those people at the cons that, do all that, make all their art and all of their crafts, and then go and try to sell it and make as much as they can to save up for the next one.
That's probably a good point of reference there. Gather as much as you can, produce as much as you can, and sell it to them. Make sure that you're in town when the next merchant comes. And if a merchant's late, you're going to be, eating peas and carrots for the next couple weeks.
Peas and carrots. Anyhow. So, yes.
Okay. So yeah, let's say we kill some time, probably spending most of it in the bar. Let's say going over this information as we do. It's still too early to drink.
It's always too early to drink for Meru.
No. Oh, just at least wait till 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You guys have fun here, right?
Sienna counters that with that exact thing. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and she grabs
We
another
woke up
alcoholic.
at 5 o'clock.
Meru's just like,
Well,
I don't know what else I expected.
don't sound so
Oh.
disappointed. Good.
You were wrong to expect anything else of Sienna.
Oh my gosh. So you got back to the bar. Olivia's pretty busy, walking here and there, but she sees you, acknowledges you, and gets back to work. Sitting at the bar, you exchange notes, you talk about each person. Of course, Xander and Samari come up, and you determine to wait for Trev. It's starting to get late. The sun is setting. It's probably like golden hour as you see a tall man, pretty grungy looking, covered in a mixture of dirt and sweat, coming into the front of the bar, sitting down.
Is there anything to distinguish him from any of the other patrons?
He's more dirty. He looks like he's been like in the thick of it for the past couple of hours.
Into the thick of it.
So you guys want to all swamp him at once, or
Womp womp, Jesus. He sits at the bar with great familiarity, just raises a hand.
As he's walking over to his spot, I'll wave and say, "Hey, Trev, over here."
His head slowly turns and looks at you. Eyes you up and
Come on.
down.
Gestures to the empty seat we have at our table.
holds up the bottle of wine.
A waddle of bar.
DM, would you say the mood is a bit is the mood still pretty tense in the bar?
Tense, I would say no, just weary. Like you could tell people are tired.
People come to drink to be tired.
And some are probably even too tired to drink. I ask Olivia, I'm a little bit of a performer. I don't know, would you mind if I played a little something, try to get people's spirits up?
Oh, you perform? What payment?
I sure do.
What payment do you want?
Oh no, this
I am paid in smiles.
Oh,
It's
how
to
about you
make
just...
up It's to make up for Jason harassing the horses out back.
I don't know, the horses seem pretty happy.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
Jason has been at it. Just
That's the
if you've gotten any
problem.
word from any of
It's
your
to make up for Jason getting in everyone's way
Oh no.
with the horses in the kitchen.
Oh no.
Just
Wait,
let
did you
us
bring
do
the
it.
horses into the
Jason
kitchen?
is in the kitchen with the horses.
He's like making a big stew. It's got to get the seal of approval, and he just holds the pot up to the horse.
Wow, y'all, why, please, we don't need. I have no words at all. Oh God. I just, wow. I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain was just like, that is ridiculous, and I can't. I'm done.
This is what
How
happens when you don't
about
join us, Jamey.
how about for the cost of the performance, a good meal for me and my traveling companions here?
You were gonna get that anyway.
Exactly.
Now I get to pay for it, or she gets to pay for it.
Okay. But
I've been playing since I was very young. I promise I'm good.
oh, I mean, we'll accept anything here. It's just, usually traveling performers want a traveling
Are you
performer
saying-
price.
Will you accept a
saying-
drunk bird singing?
No.
Absolutely not, Meru.
As I scoot wow, why am I blanking? Sienna's drink a little bit closer to her.
Wow.
He goes, I will not perform today, thank you.
Maybe
So-
a little bit more wine?
The only thing I can do is transform into a beast, and I don't know how I do it, so therefore, no.
So, Olivia,
That'd be great to see happen in here.
the ceiling is pretty high. You could probably get away with it. So,
From 4 foot to 7 feet.
it'd be entertaining.
Just take me around and label me the circus.
Just gotta learn how to juggle. If you juggle your battle axes, it'd be even cooler.
If I juggled my battle axes on a unicycle under the transformation.
I'm dead. Okay. So, Olivia.
Has Trev been scared off by this discussion?
No. He's kind of just shaking his head and taking his drink, which is actually not the wine. And she allows you to perform.
All right. This is what a bard is made for. Time to roll that performance check.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh yeah, don't you have bardic inspiration yet?
I don't think I can inspire myself quite yet.
Can't you?
I think that comes at a higher level for bards.
God damn it, I don't have my book in my room. I would look into that.
You want your
Yeah.
books back?
Yeah, I'm looking at it and it's saying a creature other than you within
Yeah,
60 feet.
A bard
so.
cannot inspire themselves if we take it word for word.
Yeah, but
While you can inspire another bard, you can't necessarily just give your. You're not gonna go up to a mirror and give yourself inspiration.
Give yourself a hell of a pep
I'm
talk.
just realizing, I don't think we've actually seen the bardic inspiration used yet.
No, haven't.
All right, that is a 19.
Ah. The performance is riveting. Everybody ends up turning and staring at this very beautiful young drow woman giving this performance. Violin or flute?
Violin.
And people are pretty enraptured. You can tell that the the tension or the dread that has been on a lot of people's countenance has faded somewhat. They're enjoying the moment for the time being. Trev is still staring at you, particularly you, Meru, who just shouted out his name.
Is he sitting with us though? I don't remember him whether or
No,
not he actually.
he's sitting at the bar where he usually sits.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and sit next to him during this performance.
Sienna is like, if it's, hyped enough, she's like helping people like enjoy it with like dancing and like clapping and everything.
Oh,
Can I have one of what he's having?
you want one of what he's having?
When you say it like that, maybe.
Insight check.
Check on the GM.
So this is what Olivia says.
Yeah, I gathered. Can I get an insight check?
Go
Why is
ahead.
she saying it like that?
Go ahead.
That's a shitty insight. Wait, that didn't even roll. That just
Sorry.
It just dropped.
Yeah, basically.
Just
I
went
dropped,
no.
I dropped and scooted.
Oh man.
That one at least rolled, but it's even worse roll. It's a 2.
She looks baffled. Baffled.
Sienna is gonna come up after a minute and be like, "What is he having?"
So, we normally don't offer this to people, but it's a very strong type of, let's say, brandy. But a lot stronger and also heavily spiced.
Meru just looks over at Sienna and says, "It's after 5 o'clock. I'll have one of what he's having."
Sienna nods, "I'll have one too."
Oh boy.
Got it.
Chaos.
And
Chaos.
she nods and she gets 2 big old steins of the stuff and puts them in front of either of you and says, "Good
What
luck."
type of roll am I making?
Oh god, what? I almost want to
Constitution
say,
saving throw.
I almost want to say poison, but
Yeah.
let's
Con
see.
save seems like the thing. Most poisons target con.
Yeah, so Constitution.
No, I'll say. So, Trev, we were given your name recently, and we were hoping you might have some information about some of the goings on out in the out in the swamp. And I'll take a good swallow. Do I need to?
Oh no.
Con save too, or like at least a Constitution roll.
Okay, save
Save.
or no,
Save.
Say okay. Well, doesn't matter. I'm it's the same either way for me. That is a total of 15.
Okay.
I got a 24, natural 20.
Nice.
The only
Sienna
time
just
that's gonna
boom,
roll.
boom, boom.
Meru, this stuff burns going down. It is. Whew. You can feel it going all the way down your little birdie esophagus and just like rolling around in your belly. It's almost, it would be the equivalent of a nasty storm at sea. But you're holding it. Good luck.
Yeah, Meru's got that whole like intense stare at the table.
How's Sienna doing?
Sienna takes it like a hecking champ. It actually it reminds you of some of this drink back at home. Not as strong though.
Sienna like is right by Meru. How you doing, buddy? Isn't this a good reminder of home and the mountains? And
We're here. We're here to figure out what's causing the problems locally.
Oh,
You know, Trev, I like drinks like this, although this one's a little weaker than the one I'm used to.
His eyebrow pops and he's like trying to stifle laughter at Meru. And he says, "This is weaker than what you're used to. Where do you get your drinks?"
You know, there's this really nice tavern from my hometown with all the, owl folk, right by the base of the mountains.
Huh.
That stuff's a little bit stronger.
Maybe I should visit one day.
Should. It would be a nice time.
So you know my name. What's yours?
Yeah.
And the dying bird here.
Yeah, Sienna Meru.
Ah,
What she said gestures.
he sees you suffering, and he pulls out.
Takes
like,
another swig.
He sees you suffering. He pulls out, a flask from inside, one of his outer jackets, and hands it to you. Says it should help, at least the burn.
Taking. Throwing it back. Not even questioning at this point.
It burns even more, so the burn you experience with the drink burns less.
No,
Is that what's going on here?
no, it actually,
No?
it almost feels like soothing menthol down your throat. It feels like it's almost coating everywhere that was burning. But the menthol is a bit, it's not actually menthol, but like that menthol vibe is, it's not without sting, but it feels better than the burn.
Do you want me to make a second save for the second swallow, or should I just call it that for the drink?
We're calling it that.
Okay.
We don't want to give you the opportunity to roll worse right now.
Yeah.
Considering your previous roll, that's pretty dang good for a con save on a wizard.
I do have a +2 to con.
Oh.
So,
We're here to see if we can settle, or at the very least identify what's going on. What's causing the problems here.
What makes
Hi,
you think you
my
can
name is
figure it
Meru.
out?
It's just what makes
It's not
you think we-
necessarily we think we can, it's that we were tasked with it, so it's not like we had much of a choice, but
I see.
it would help if we had a guide for the marsh, such as yourself.
At the very least, the more information we have, the more of a success we're coming to. Does this actually help the throat afterwards, or should I have drunk that first?
Give it a moment.
Okay.
So you want to go?
Hannah's trying not to laugh at Meru.
So you want to go inside the marsh?
The more information we have, the more of a success our mission is. And the more likely things are to get resolved.
So you already know it's dangerous.
We've heard, yes.
One of our colleagues almost got himself eat by a murderous plant outside the village before we came, but you know.
Which one is that? The one playing the music?
No, he's the one in the kitchen with the horses and everything. You probably saw him around town.
Canonically, is he currently in the kitchen with the horses?
No, because they would never let horses in the kitchen. This is a reputable establishment.
It is.
So no, having the horse
basically-
try the stew.
No.
Sienna basically points towards the kitchen. He's actually cooking a meal right now. You know, out tending to the horses from time to time.
Ah.
You probably also saw him at one point, if you had gotten here earlier, interviewing all the plants to make sure they weren't murderous.
Ah. Yeah, he'll find more of those either outside the town near the edge or deeper into the marsh. So, he's the one with the bad makes sense. Makes sense. Well, glad to see his spirit's not deterred. So, Do you expect me to just take you into this marsh with dangerous things?
Well, first off, we were hoping that you would be able to provide any additional information as to what's actually going on out there. In a best case scenario, you may be able to help us make contact with a couple individuals who seem to be settled out there a little bit more long term.
Which individuals? His eyes narrow at you as you say that.
To be honest, any individuals. We're not here to cause any trouble, but we do.
We're just here to get a full story report back as to what's happening with the marsh. Our mission isn't to interfere right away and cause more trouble.
At the moment, I don't intend to put any names in my report.
He eases a bit and says, "All right. So, knowing the people of the town, they probably told you about the strangers from the capital who came."
A little bit here and there. They came in, went into the marsh, haven't come back out.
Seems they set something up there. I've only seen it from a distance. I don't want to get my hands too dirty, but...
Oh, I can help with that. Quick prestidigitation on his hands.
It's a party trick!
He literally looks at you like, what?
They're clean now. You were having trouble with that, right?
Oh, Betty.
Deanna just kind of pat her on the shoulder. Oh, buddy, I don't think that's what he meant. But thank
as
you,
non-literally as I meant that. I appreciate it.
Of course.
He still pauses like, huh, and continues on. They've set something up there. Some sort of... almost looks like a... It almost looks like they made a fort for themselves. There's something going on in there, I can't tell, but weird stuff leaks out. They have little drains, grates around the perimeter, and sometimes you can see a sickly blue, thick liquid come out. Not sure what it is. Haven't been willing to poke at it.
That's
Have you managed
probably
to
what's
smell
been
it?
messing with the marsh.
Have you managed to smell it, by any chance?
No.
Is there a bad smell that comes from the camp?
Oh yeah. Smells like lots and lots of metal.
Metal doesn't usually smell bad, does it?
Not usually, but have you ever taken like 2 pieces of not refined iron or copper and just rubbed it together, or put your fingers on a copper piece and rubbed it a lot?
No.
Oh yeah, do you? Oh, he he stops a bit flustered and like looks at your fingers, trying to see if they're like fleshy or feathery. Or
Deanna turns to Mira and is like, the smell isn't great regardless.
it's like that, but stronger, a little bit more. I don't want to say rancid, because that makes it sound like there are lots of dead things, but it smells almost like age, almost. It's hard to describe.
Almost like something that's expired.
Yeah. I'm not willing to mess with the stuff.
I don't blame you.
But yeah, they have like a fort or something there. Very shiny materials too. It looks like nothing of the buildings here. Does look like they may have just gotten parts from the capital and built it right there. I don't know. Do you expect to go inside? Because I can't help you there.
Do they
As
have a
long as
front
you can
door?
help guide us through the marsh and help us avoid dying, I think that's all we really expect of you.
Do they have a front door though? That would be good information.
A gate.
Do they have any doors?
Okay.
Just one gate. At least
Okay.
from what I've seen.
Is the wall made out of metal?
The wall itself? Don't think so. I think it's probably something else. It's not metal, and it's not wood. But that's all I've got.
Not metal and not wood. We didn't see much stone on the way out here, did we?
Mm-mm.
What the hell could it be if it's not one of those? I'd be surprised if they're making bricks out here. A clay wall would take a whole lot more energy to make than even a palisade.
I guess we'll have to look and find out. Sounds like they're the cause of a lot of troubles around here.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm just... like, interested in the curious. Oh, what can you tell us about, Samari and Xander?
His eyes narrow at you again. Why?
A couple names we've come
We
across.
just want to make sure they're not going to jump the gun and get hurt.
Are they level-headed? Are they, likely to jump down our throats?
If you're worried about someone being impulsive, look out for Xander. As much as I want to tell him that there's not much you can do in the face of the crown, he's gonna get himself hurt. But you gotta admire his spirit. He has a lot more hope than a lot of the people in this town do.
I would say that that's probably for the good.
Unless it gets you killed.
Well, yeah, but if he's willing to put his life on the line just to make things better around here.
Most people would rather have assurance that the people they know are safe rather than the hope that something might change. He takes another swig and says, "So, information is free. Escorting is not.
What's your price?
What do you have?"
So
Nothing.
Sienna, when we raided that temple,
Oh,
got
what?
a bunch of unrefined gems and refined gems.
You right.
You don't have anything. You're poor. As Sienna just sort of unfolds like a secret flap on her tunic or whatever, and just gems.
Mary's
scatter.
just like, we're poor. Sienna pulls out her bag and is like, how much in terms of like, because right now Sienna has like basically 20 gold and 326 silver worth of gems. So she's like, what's the price for an escort?
If you're just looking for directions, I'd say a healthy 7 silver. But if you want to make sure you don't die, I would say 2 gold.
Sienna takes out some ore and she's like, this is basically worth 2 gold. Can I give you this instead?
His jaw slacks. And then he picks up like a napkin and throws it over it. You can't just bring stuff like that out.
Sienna's like, I kind of just did. What do you say?
How many eyes in the tavern are watching us right now?
Let me roll for it.
It's not like she's like, hey, you
Ziana
want all
is
this
still.
ore?
Ziana's still performing.
Yeah, Ziana is still performing.
Yeah, most are still enchanted by Ziana. You can see some people actually like kind of inching towards her. You can tell that they want to world equivalent of ask for her number. But
So
but
where are you standing?
a couple of eyes, mainly just 2 pairs, see the glint across the firelight, and they kind of just looked with the side of their vision.
Basically has it wrapped up and like she basically pulled out 2 gold worth. And it's kind of like, this is basically all I've got type of look to her.
Deception check.
I will do deception for this. Because no one really knows how much she has.
Mm-hmm.
Just so everyone's aware, I have a +0 in my charisma.
So good.
19.
Okay. If
I'm just out here thinking. Oh man, never mind.
I thought I rolled good too. Anyhow. He looks suspiciously at you, but nods, takes the gems with the napkin on top, wraps it up, and puts it in his pocket.
I will dock my stuff that I gave him. Gold equivalent.
So.
Yeah, Sienna's been storing that one for a while.
So, meet you outside of the tavern at, let's say, bright and early. 8 o'clock.
Sounds good to me.
And he looks around, just, like, gauging everything in the tavern. And he leans in towards Meru. And by the way, Meru, your throat's feeling a lot better than it did. Your stomach is still kind of but, like, it's better. More of a strong gale than a mighty storm. He leans into you and says, be careful about mentioning Zamari. Got it.
Meru just this is like whispered under the common ear.
Mm-hmm.
Meru just gives a nod like he understands and throws back the rest of the drink. Particularly with the goal of trying to make it seem like he's not saying like, "Hey, watch your back,"
Mm-hmm.
you know, to anybody who may be like listening in or trying to figure out what we're talking about.
Mm. He nods, gets up,
Not as though he just mentioned the size of the snakes out there.
he nods, gets up, nods to you, Sienna, and exits the tavern. And let's say with that, we go on break and come back at about 10:05.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty then. Gosh, I'm hungry.
You
All
have
right.
some food, right?
Hmm?
You do have some food.
Yeah, I just gotta warm it up and all.
Hashtag
Alright,
take
15-minute
care of
break.
yourself.
Well, oh, by the way, John wanted us all to hydrate, so you gotta do that.
Yep.
Hydration.
Oh,
You'll have to like stop the stream so that we can go get drinks, though.
yeah.
I
Womp
was
womp.
gonna say I'll hydrate during the break.
Yeah, it doesn't help that I just hiccuped while saying that.
Wow.
I gotta get something more to drink.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds so
Legit.
good. And totally not sus at all. Alright. So we'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Woo.
Hello, and we are back. Thank you for waiting for us, even though we're 10 minutes late. Jesu.
10?
I mean, 5 minutes late. Okay.
5 minutes
Thank
late.
God. I was like, I saw 10-10, and I was like, no! 10-10 wins. Anyhow. I grew up in New York. Anyhow.
Hmm.
So, Trev exits the tavern. I'm going to change the music back to what Ziana was playing. Or not, because I can't find it anymore.
Rip.
So, new tune. The tavern is looking a lot more eased than they were before. It's not usually that they get live music.
Diana will move on to her next number, pulling out her flute this time.
Oh, she's got a whole set.
She's got a set list and we need to support her. You know what? I'm just gonna start pulling people in for dances.
Wow.
Make this a whole group activity.
You pull people in, a couple of people who are sitting and drinking and watching for a dance. They're pretty surprised that there's a bird person asking them to dance. But
Yep.
they're like, why the heck not? And they are just doing a big old jig.
Awesome. All my hopes and dreams, I'm finally living up to it.
As Trev leaves, Olivia pauses what she's doing and walks up to you, Mario.
Okay. I'm still at the bar.
At the
yeah?
bar. How'd it go? Really?
Thanks, he seems willing to help us out. We're gonna be going out into the woods tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Is there a reason we shouldn't?
No, you should. I'm just concerned about the everything. And also, your head probably won't be doing too well.
We'll see. Worst case scenario, I'll just have a hell of a hangover.
Well, good luck.
You're not
We
inspiring much
sterilized
faith in me.
some water earlier. Is that a word we know? Should we clean up some water earlier to get ready to dump it on his head in the morning?
We have some water that we filtered, but still don't know if you like it. Do you want?
No, I was joking.
What?
He was joking about
Oh,
dumping it all on Maru.
Oh no,
okay.
no,
we'll
no.
just dump the poison water on him. It's fine.
Yeah.
It can't be too poisonous if you guys are drinking it, right?
She pauses.
Fun drink.
That is... Some people have just taken to drinking the ale and the wine. But some are drinking it. Those people are also not doing the best. We filter it to the best of our ability, so some are doing better than others. But for the houses that don't have our system, it's not great. She falls silent, and you can like kind of see the war flashbacks.
Water filtration needed.
Yeah. So to be clear, the ones that aren't doing well are the ones who are drinking the water without using the filtration,
Yeah.
not the ones that are drinking the booze.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun, isn't it?
Yes.
So after the pause and the quick war flashback, she just, sets herself to going about her business, trying not to linger too much on it. But, we do what we can over here. We distribute water as we can, though our system is pretty slow, so we can't get as much out as we'd like. But we do what we can.
Just question, how long does it take for their water filtration system to pull water? Like on average.
No question.
So she pauses and she does calculations, and she says, well, if I'm measuring it right, I want to say a gallon an hour.
That's pretty good. Most people don't drink a whole gallon in an hour.
No. But people do also cook.
With a gallon an hour?
Not a gallon an hour, no. But when people cook, they tend to use a lot of water. And we can't always be taking all of the water and filtering it. Because then where would we put it? It's usually as needed. Or if somebody comes and says they need water.
Mm.
As needed, not stored. Got it. So what I'm hearing is we need to become sky pirates. So we can give this town a water filtration system and destroy the evildoers in the marsh.
Well,
That's a hell of a stretch.
Steal from the rich and give to the poor.
I'm not
will
against it
be.
though. The sky is the best place to be a pirate.
Yeah, honestly.
well, do you say this out loud or?
No.
No.
I was going to be like.
I mean, we could and cause chaos, but I don't think Sienna's gonna give away that plan so easily.
I'm sorry, is that a plan?
It's totally a
In
plan.
character? Meru has no idea about that yet.
Oh. While you are playing the music, Ziana, one of the people who is dancing after being pulled onto the floor. They are dancing, but they look at you every so often. And not like in a ho-ho kind of way, but more as a curious kind of way. They are a young man, though, so you never know with these kinds.
My father has warned me many a time about young men. But she'll play a couple more numbers before just simmering down a bit.
When you say simmering down, you mean like playing something calm or just ending the music for the night?
finishing with something more calm and then finishing up for the night.
Okay. Now I have to find another song to switch to. Pardon me. Totally got this. So the music changes. It totally hasn't changed yet. And not that. Maybe? Sorry, I have a list with references of mood and like events, and I didn't get to finish it. So it's a bit lacking. But as the let's do that. So as the music winds down, people are like, that was a good romp. I haven't done that in years, etc., etc. Chatter happening. That young man sits closer. Eyes fixed on you. Would you like to make like a perception or?
Yeah, I'll make like a perception out of the corner of my eye while I'm playing.
Mm.
Ooh, that's another dirty 20.
Mm. He ain't slick. He's definitely having his eyes fixed on you, but not in the way of a but it kind of feels quizzical, like that look you give someone when you think you've seen them somewhere.
That's curious.
And to your remembrance, this guy's not familiar.
That's suspicious.
That's a little sus.
High sus.
I'll play through to the end of my song. Give a bow and all of that, and
Raucous
try to-
applause. Everybody's super hyped. As soon as you finish, you actually get mobbed by like 3 people who are like, "Oh, you fair maiden, what is your name? Do you come around here often, or will you choose to come back?" Neither.
We'll have to see.
Not. The guy is like still sitting where he was, and at least one of them says, "So, where are you staying tonight?"
Ziana has to fight off the guys with a stick now.
Mm.
Let's see, what sort of... Too bad I don't have prestidigitation or thaumaturgy. No.
Dishonor.
Why? What are you trying to accomplish?
Just trying to get their attention away from me for a bit so I can sneak away.
Are you trying to like actually like are you like, oh my goodness, I can't, what?
Xana's a little overwhelmed by all the in-her-face
All the
attention that
nice
she's getting.
compliments that she's getting versus bad attention.
I'm not used to this much praise. I'm used to being at home with my sister and her telling me to eat dirt.
Fog cloud. Poof. The entire bar. Is now heavily obscured.
Problems.
It's that Jason boy. I told him he added too much spice. But I will try to squirm through the crowd as best I can, and like, thank you all
Sienna
very much.
kinda-
You've all been lovely.
Sienna kind of goes over here and like make
I
sure
have
they
actually
have.
cast fog cloud. Everything is unable to be seen, heavily obscured. You can't see 5 feet in front of you.
What's the radius?
The radius is like 30 feet, I think. Let me
Oh,
see
this
if
poor
At the-
bar.
At the very least, it's 20.
Yeah, 20 feet radius.
Oh, this poor bar. This poor bar.
What? You telling me that this bar with probably no shutters on the windows probably has never seen fog in the middle of the swamp?
Not fog
Just-
in the middle of
Kind of
the...
fog.
So a big puff of fog erupts from the middle of the room, blooming out to the very edges of the building. Everybody's like, wait, what's going on? And Ziana, you're free to try and squirm away from the people.
All right. Would this be like a dexterity check?
What would navigation fall under?
Usually wisdom, I think.
Or maybe intelligence? Because, oh, there they are.
Yeah.
I'll make my way in that direction.
Hmm.
All right.
Or just straight up, like, head up the stairs a little bit.
That moment when we allow Ziana to get kidnapped
Oh no.
because of the fog.
No! Well, that intelligence roll, that's another 18
Hmm.
plus 1, so 19.
You remember the layout of the room pretty well. And you did hear Sienna say over here. So you weave and worm your way through your adoring fans and are able to walk straight into the bar, and it hits you around the stomach area. But you made it out. Still
I
can't
can-
see
and I can-
nothing.
Can I... am I in the area of where the group is? Do I see them, or am I still just... Am I, like, wandering around?
No, you're in the area. You kind of see them, but they're still obscured.
I make my way over in that direction, squinting as I go.
Sienna, make sure to put out feelers for Ziana. Just like, where are
Oh.
you?
Oh, feathers! Oh.
Oh, thank God it's
Feathers for me.
feathers.
And I will, thank you, Meru. That was, a very timely fog.
I'm over here.
Well, so there's a raucous.
Who's stepping on my butt?
There's a raucous. There's a what's going on? Hey, who turned out the lights? And a lot of just general confusion until the fog eventually dissipates.
That would take a full hour.
Eventually.
Okay, however long I feel like is safe for me to drop it after Ziana manages to escape.
All right. So eventually you drop the fog.
Yeah.
The people there are pretty much still standing there because they were too afraid to move with the fog explosion. But with the fog dissipating, they're like, well, that was enough of a night. I'm going home. And they exit. Other people finish their drink and start petering out. It's been a long evening. It's almost 9. Or actually, I'll say it's like almost 9:30. So, just a few regulars and that one young man are still in the bar, along with y'all.
The one young man is still in the bar. This concerns me.
Is he still like staring at me?
Not as intensely. He's nursing a drink, but every so often he'll look up and glance at you and the crew.
I'll whisper to them. I have no idea who this man is, but he will not stop staring at me. And it's not like the adoring fan stare. It's like it's different.
And I
I
like.
hate to tell you, Ziana, you're kind of pretty.
Can I like? Do I see the person?
Yeah. They're sitting alone at a table. It's not enshrouded or anything. It's just there.
So I see the person's face and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna memorize that face.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Meru. I appreciate it, but it's I can generally tell when it's like a smitten young man versus something else that's more unsettling.
Do you have any enemies?
Chaos. No chaos. Do I cause more chaos tonight?
I mean, none that, aside from my sister, no one who has been intentionally antagonistic towards me. Usually they see me, they know who my father is, and they know better than to mess with me.
Did you cut anybody in line at the town the other day?
I don't
Did you
recall
get
being
turned on anyone?
I don't recall being too terribly rude to anybody. Just Jason when he was defending the plant that tried to eat him.
It's
That's
fair.
who this guy is. It's the plants.
Ugh, what a knucklehead.
I kind of just want Jason to say I heard that from the kitchen.
I feel like he would, and then we'd just be like,
Like, ooh. And ooh.
Remember, Jason, the horses stay in the barn.
I like how we're just including Jason in the completely wrong way.
But, I think I might retire a little bit early. After all the attention, I want to be alone for a bit.
Sounds good. I'll be up to the room shortly.
Now, are we all sharing a room? Do we all have individual rooms, or is it like
She said
boys
that
and
we
girls?
all would have to share like some rooms, but it was probably like I assumed it was probably gonna be boys, girls.
Mm.
Cool.
She
So
did
you
hand
have
two
the
keys.
barbarian.
I have the
on your
angry burb as a roommate, so I'm feeling pretty safe.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll retire for the evening. And I guess we head out bright and early to find this fort that they've built, huh?
Yes, the fart
The fart, indeed.
that they built in the woods.
They totally
Yes.
built a fart.
All right. Well, I'll see you two in the morning, and Sienna, I'll see you in a bit.
I'll be up there shortly.
When I
Good night,
make
Sahil.
my way upstairs.
As you are going up the stairs, you hear the creak.
Sienna is keeping eyes on that man, by the way.
Yeah.
He ain't slick. He goes up creeping. Not like creeping like but like he's trying to be soft-footed and it's not working.
Oh, Sienna stops him.
Can I try to like silently like get behind him?
Sienna goes to the stairs.
So as he's starting to put a foot on the stairs, you walk up to him. Feldian, you have perfect opportunities to slip in behind him.
Hi, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, fine.
Can we help you, young man?
Oh,
Can I help you with something?
sorry. It's just, that lovely bard. I thought that I might have known her from somewhere.
Really, where from?
It's a bit complicated to say, but
Complicated.
Where would somebody like you know a lovely bard like her from?
That's so sweet.
well, you can tell like he's flustered.
Mm-hmm.
He just, I guess I may know someone who may knows her. Maybe. They, you know, you're her friends, right?
Yes, and?
Do you know if she knows someone named Johnny Hita?
We
That name's
all know that person.
What?
Howie
He-
is
he's
All
reasonably
know that
shocked.
person.
You know Johnny Hita?
Well, we
Yeah.
met. Wait, did we meet her? We met her, right? Out of character.
Reminder,
Yeah.
She was.
Johnny Hita is the drow girl that you saved the life of back in the first mission.
In the
Oh.
temple.
Okay, wait. Then why are you like giving away? Oh, okay.
Yeah, why are you here?
What do you mean?
Are you looking for her?
Oh, no. She does as she wills.
How do you know Johnny Hita?
He pauses. I'm a friend. A friend of the people of Elistray.
That's a big look around, see who may have heard that name, sort of thing.
Most people are gone. And y'all are crowding him like, y'all are about to beat him down.
Fair.
Sienna might only be 4 feet tall, but she is probably one of the most intimidating people.
I'm picturing full, like, great horned owl, eyebrows furrowed, like.
Reaches for great sword. Hey, buddy!
What you doing? That's...
We are gonna go peeping on young girls, are we? So you just stared at her this entire time. On an assumption. acting all creepy. I'm not slick at all over there in the
I'm
corner.
sorry, this is not my usual. I don't usually do this, but also, like, how do you just walk up to a drow bard in the middle of a tavern and say, hey, do you know of this underground ringleader?
Keep your mouth shut.
I'm sorry, y'all make me nervous.
I would think you would have better self-preservation instincts than that.
Y'all are very flustering.
Why don't we all go upstairs to a private room and discuss this and go from there?
You're not going
And
to you're not going to hurt me, right?
No.
No, so long as I don't have a reason, I don't hurt people. So don't give me a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Dang, got the yes ma'am out of him.
And I will lead said people up to room to discuss privately.
So you only have access to 2 rooms. So I'm assuming that we all just pile into the room that Ziana is not in.
I'm going
Although
to...
I will swing by, drop off some stuff, and say, hey, that dude that was creepily staring at you apparently knows Johnny Hita and wanted to know if you knew Johnny Hita.
Ziana definitely recalls the name and. Oh, okay. Give me a minute and I'll be over.
Yep, we're just swinging over to the other room. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all crowded in a room now, staring at this individual.
Now that you actually, get to really sit down with this young man, he does look very, timid, quiet, sandy hair, a bit of a face sprinkled with a couple of freckles. You can tell that he has no experience with intimidation at all. So, yes.
So how do you know Johnny Hita? Sorry, let me. We are nice. I promise. Disregard the angry bird. We are nice.
We saved Johnny Hita back at the Drow Temple that we were exploring. Appeared to be more of a home. That's how we met her.
Oh, so you were there too?
Were you there?
No. She told me about it after. And she mentioned there was a group of people, but she specifically mentioned someone who looked like Elistray back on the Earth. And
Meru's slow head turned towards Ziana.
And when I saw her, especially with the flute, I couldn't help but... Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... Usually, I am not seen as a threat, so I guess I don't know how to act like I'm not a threat.
What do you mean by back on the Earth?
Like reincarnated, or just back to visit?
Something. She didn't really give explanation. She just said that she looked so much like her, she could almost be her.
Looks to Ziana. Are you a god and didn't tell us, or goddess and didn't tell us?
Zion is just super silent, like that. Being in that temple and seeing that statue, that was like etched into my memory as the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And you think I look like her? She thinks I look like her?
You're this uncanny image of her.
Are you her daughter? What is going on? Like, are you the daughter of a goddess? Are you a goddess? What is happening here?
I I I had parents. I don't remember them. My The man I call my father, the general, has raised me since I was a child.
The general?
Yes?
What general?
General Estrada.
He pales. Lieutenant General Estrada is your father?
He took me in, yes.
He did. And he stops and pauses and says, I'm sorry. That's just surprising to hear.
What do you know of the general?
What do you mean?
It seems like you're hiding some information about the lieutenant, so
Hiding? You
what
don't
are
know-
you not telling us?
There's he's genuinely baffled. He's like, do you not know about the land war from several years ago?
It seems like there's more than that.
I mean,
What was his role in the war?
well, I mean, in the schools, they very much say that he was pretty much the main reason why the Drow were driven back and that people were able to live in peace on the land. He, for many people, and he looks at Ziana really quickly and then avoids gaze. He's a slaughterer.
He's always been kind to me. He's always treated me like a daughter.
He looks like disbelieving, but also like he's hurt for you.
If he was responsible for that kind of indiscriminate slaughter, why would he take in the daughter, or sorry, as a daughter, one of the people, an orphan, I imagine, of the people he was
slaughtered.
campaigning against?
You would know better than me. I didn't even
imagine
know
was
that
what?
I have no idea.
My father always told me that, like, he doesn't speak much of the war, but that it was ugly, and he talks about how he, amongst all the fighting, he found me alone and abandoned, and that my parents had died in all the violence, and he couldn't leave me there, and he just took me home. That
How much?
he was fighting to keep all of the nation safe.
How much would Teldian know about this, having been probably alive through it all?
Yeah, he
And-
was alive through a good deal of it. Roll history.
I'm curious as to how much Sienna would know being military, so
can-
I'm also going to roll.
Mm-hmm.
I must have been focused more on the economics. I rolled a natural one.
Ooh. It was a turbulent time. Like,
It was a bad time.
trading was
The housing
terrible.
market was terrible. Not a good time to invest in property.
It was.
Especially the other properties we were fighting against.
Oh no, like that. No, those like the bringing those properties onto the housing market was part of the reason why things were so volatile.
Dirty 20.
You know what you've learned. The war had been going on for a while, but it ended about, as they say, about 25 years ago. Lieutenant General Estrada was one of the main forces that actually gained his honor and his noble title through his works in that war. Every time that he's brought up, it's very much with reverence and honor in his task. And a lot of what is said about him is that he drove back the forces that would harm the people of Brau-Loran, culminating in one big battle that actually is pretty close to where he ended up building his estate. Says he wants to keep an eye on the situation. That good old Estrada.
Ziana, you know your father, right?
I know him very well. We spent so much time together on the road, on different archaeological things. Like, we both he's the one that gave me my love of history and nurtured that throughout my childhood.
And you know him better than anyone, right?
Yeah.
Probably better than the people on the other side of the war.
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I wouldn't ever be worried of him hurting me. But
The young man is very, unless y'all are trying to specifically say this under your breaths.
In front of him. Like, Meru's got this kind of like, why would you say or insinuate such things? And sort of vibe to him. Like, you're slandering my friend's father. Like, that's the big thing that's coming through to Meru right now.
And I can tell you, as somebody who was alive during that, a lot of that, I don't remember anything about him taking an active part in.
Can I do a vibe check on this dude to see if he's telling the truth?
Sure.
This is like one of my best stats.
Vibe check, the best stat.
19.
This kid, this young man, he doesn't look like he's trying to hide anything. He just looks like things just spill out of his mouth. And so from what you can tell, his countenance, his body language, he's not lying.
Meru's kind of like, why would you say those things?
Yeah.
Sienna just kind of puts a hand on his shoulder. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. We're not. I'm assuming you haven't met the Lieutenant General.
No.
Where did you get that information?
I don't know if I should say anymore.
Probably not.
Either way,
Is
it's good to keep our guards up about everything.
Janahita, is she still okay? She's still, like, safe and in hiding and all that?
He relaxes a little bit. She's safe, yes. Traveling, as always. I think she'll be fine.
Okay.
He takes a deep swallow and like looks up at you, Ziana, with kind of this desperation mixed with disbelief. I'm glad that the general treats you well.
He's never not treated me well.
That's good. It's hard to believe, but maybe he's changed. You could tell that he can't even believe those words coming out of his mouth. Maybe. I don't know. Sorry to worry you. Can I go now?
Meru stands up and opens the door for him.
He looks around at everybody, takes one last look at you, Ziana, and then exits.
Anna
Closes the
takes
door.
a very, very deep breath and just. He wouldn't lie to me. He wouldn't lie to me. He's always been. You know how he's like Sienna. He's a straight shooter. He doesn't bullshit people. Right?
I mean, it's hard to say.
I
I
can't
wouldn't
believe believe
too
you're
much
giving
stock.
his words any weight.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much.
Is
stock
it all
in
a coincidence?
Is what all a coincidence? There's a lot of. Okay, of, of course, the people on the other side of the war would have inflated stories about the opposing general's butchery. Is it surprising? No. I would be more surprised if it wasn't the case.
Why go through all the trouble of like actively looking for me? How on earth did he even know I was down? We were down here.
I don't think he expected to see you.
But also, is it a
Seemed like he was-
coincidence that Ziana looks so much like Elistray? And also a coincidence that the general just so happened to keep her out of anyone? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's probably your purpose, Diana,
So
to
we
have
didn't
found the
actually
general
hear
and the
that.
general to have found you, but
We didn't hear that.
there
from
has to be
any people
something
that were
more.
We heard that from. Did we get that kid's name? We heard that from the kid, and then like that Johnny Hita had said that. He said that he didn't go to the temple himself. He wouldn't have seen the statue.
Yeah.
I don't
and
know
then,
why.
And then he pointed out that you're the spitting image of him. So that doesn't add up.
Yeah, I'm not even paying any mind to the whole, oh, you look like a goddess comments. That's just ridiculous. I don't.
He was trying to flatter you. He thought you looked pretty because, well, honestly, you're pretty. And
Just
That was
to,
just all very weird.
just
Sienna just kind of heads to bed.
just to how many of you saw the statue?
All of us, we were at the temple.
Yeah.
You
And
do.
Ziana like sketched it. She,
Yeah.
It has like a whole like, if I were to open a book like this, like a whole up and down like drawing of it.
Yeah.
Ziana does truly look very much like that statue.
Uh-oh.
Sienna just kind of, as you guys are just like, it's nothing. She's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to bed then.
Meru is just going to chalk it up to casual racism. Of course, all the dark elves look alike.
Ignoring that, Sienna's gonna go to bed.
He said that in a campaign DM'd by a black woman.
Yes, yes.
Mm,
I know exactly what I said.
mm,
And who I was saying it to.
mm.
Staring straight at Yvonne through the camera.
I'm also aware of the fact that Meru would not have that mindset if he didn't also think that and was unable to tell that these two do actually look alike.
Damn. Meru's low-key racist. Cool beans. Well,
I thank all of you for looking out for me. I very much do appreciate it.
Of course.
The
well,
only everyone who's ever looked out for me is my father, and I have no reason to believe this boy's slander, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely slander. Absolutely. Now, We should probably get to bed and lose literally no sleep over this.
Exactly.
All right. So, he'll disperse to bed, I guess, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. You disperse to bed. I'm actually going to change that song to something a little not. This is a little too happy.
We're just having a serious conversation, and the music's just like, let's all dance and have fun, and it's a great time.
It's
The sun in the sky. That's dance in the street. Life is wonderful.
And then we're just like,
Young
"Oh,
man comes in
people
and
are
accuses
people."
Zayana's dad basically of mass murder.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is a general. Kind of happens.
Yeah.
Especially in wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's okay, Zayana. Everyone murders people.
This is war. Everyone murders at people. Everyone
Just
murders
look at
everyone.
Zayana. It isn't even a wartime, and she's murdering people.
I'm
We're
dead.
not wrong.
So you separate to bed. Actually, everyone give me a luck roll.
Oh no.
Hmm.
5.
14.
Lucky number 13.
That's a 9.
14 was the highest roll. Oh lord.
Zayana wakes up and she's the only one not dead.
Zayana wakes up and there's someone just sitting at the edge of the bed, like.
Oh gosh.
Boy sitting at the edge of the bed like, hello. How are you?
Hi, Zayana. And his head just keeps.
That's creepy.
Nope. Get me out.
There's just a mannequin at the door.
Oh no.
Nope.
Something Ben drowned.
How dare.
Sienna. And then Sienna's also a mannequin.
I hate this, guys. So, as you all do your night stuff and go to sleep, is there anything that I should or I should make time for that you want to do before we call it a night?
No.
No?
What was the luck roll for?
You'll see.
Great.
Diana has a very restless time meditating, doing her sleep. She'll stay up for a while and just tapping her pencil on the pages of one of her notebooks and
Okay.
just draws a question mark in it and then lays down.
So, you all go to sleep. Jason joins you later, asks for a catch up on the day, and then goes to sleep as well. Meru,
Yep.
you're a bit restless. You don't know why, but something's not sitting right with you. And it's not just because of the booze. No, just because. It is kind of affecting you. You're not great. Sienna,
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts are heavy. You've managed to sleep, but it's not as restful as it could be. Teldian, you're decent sleep, though you do wonder about that kid. And you wonder if Zion is okay and if there was any merit to what he said, but generally your sleep is undisturbed. Zayana, eventually you get to sleep after you spend time meditating and thinking. You lie down, you start to fall asleep, and as you feel yourself getting pulled into the restful state, you see that kid's face again. It's definitely not him in front of you, but you see him, and then him standing across from Johnny Hita. They're talking. She leads him into a crowd of people, other drow, and he meets them and talks with them, and each of them tells him something. It's all happening so far from you, you can't even go close to see what the faces look like, let alone hear what they're saying. The crowd of people disappear into the air. Johnny Hita takes one of his hands, says one last thing, and then walks away. And then that young man stops and almost seems to look at you as you see the familiar form of Elistray float from what looks like behind you into your vision, past the boy, and then into the ether. And then you jerk awake. A dream, probably.
Diana is very much in a cold sweat right now. Like, why am I dreaming this?
You fall asleep eventually, and the rest of your night goes undisturbed. And you will wake up in the morning, refreshed, hopefully, and ready to go, but that will be
Not married.
next session.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you for joining us for this newest episode of our Dungeons and Dragons campaign, Liberty Lost, Freedom Gained. There are mysteries. Ooh, ooh. Habiba wants us to hydrate and stretch. Ow. So
The words in the top corner of the page.
yeah, they kind of blended together. I thought they would stagger, but I'll look into that sometime. Anyhow, so just introducing everybody again. If I can. Oh, that's why I forgot to turn on the timers for this.
Well.
Introducing again Matt, who is playing Ziana, Emily, who is playing Sienna, Howie, who is playing Mario, and Tim, who is playing Teldian. We would normally have Jamey playing Jason, but he is not here today. You'll see him next time, which will be in January, because I'm not gonna make these guys play on Christmas Eve. What kind of monster do you think I am? Our music has been provided by, I can't even put in that thing. Okay, our music has been provided by The Derpwood, who have a... Yes, I'm giving them a break.
We were on a break!
Oh no.
The music was provided by The Derpwood, who are also TTRPG players, but they make their own music free to use for any TTRPG spaces online. Give them a follow, not only on Twitch, but also on YouTube, which is where most of their stuff is.
Which, if you were there for last week's session, that music that played when we were being stalked by the man hands plant, that was amazing. I loved it.
Man hands plant. I'm mad that that's just what you're gonna call it now. Man hands.
Yep.
Producing man
That plant
hands.
did have freakishly mannish hands.
So we'll
They
next
definitely
see.
were a girl.
So we'll next see you January 14th. I have to update that on our closing screen. Womp womp womp. Anything else that I'm forgetting? Probably not. We're probably fine, right?
Yeah,
fine.
we're
Totally
good.
fine.
It's totally fine.
Nothing worse could happen.
Nothing could happen. We're all good. So, let's see. Shall we raid somebody if anyone's even still awake?
Oh, there'd be plenty of people still awake.
Otoko no. I don't know who to raid. I kind of just want to be like, well, let's just go to sleep then.
I do have somebody to raid.
Oh?
Somebody playing Pokemon Crystal at the moment.
Oh?
Yeah, it's a friend of Generics. Their name is It's Too Late Now. All one word.
Spelled like it's normal?
Yep, no
It's
punctuation,
too
no
late
spaces. It's too late now.
Every time I hear it's too late, my brain goes, to apologize.
Yes, you giant, giant nerd. I'm kidding.
And they're a small streamer. They're usually playing alongside another friend. I don't think they are today. But they do mostly Pokemon, I think.
They've been up for 11 hours and 51 seconds. Oh my god.
It looks like he's currently doing shiny hunting for Unknown. For a
So
living
sad.
dex.
Wow. You gotta admire that dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Will they pass out as soon as we get there?
Are they already?
No, I don't know. They're still going.
They're still going, but I'm scared. Anyhow, let's go over. When we go over, please tell them that the Celestial Queen says hello. And I will be here
Maybe
tomorrow.
convince them to get some sleep.
I will be here tomorrow during our normal time, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And if I don't see you then, and we don't see you January 14th, have a good night and a lovely week. You've all been stellar. Get some freaking rest.
I probably will.
And have
Dang,
a happy
Habibal.
new year.
Dang.
So, I guess I shall release you all to go into your beds and wonder who was that boy we never got the name of. And never will. Woo.
Yeah, he's gonna avoid us like the plague from here on out.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So long, farewell, Avita, say goodbye.